When humanity arrived at the edge of the known cosmos, the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath. They came not as conquerors nor as beggars, but as explorers carrying stories, music, and hope. Yet when their ship doors opened at the grand convergence of worlds, the galaxy recoiled in fear. Every alien delegate turned pale. Every bioluminescent organ dimmed. It was as if the universe had seen a ghost it had spent eternity trying to forget. Archon Zelron of the Veiled Dominion, a being of radiant plasma contained in crystal armor, trembled for the first time in recorded history.
"This cannot be,"
he whispered. "They have returned." Captain Mara Holt looked around, confused. Her translator hummed softly as it translated her calm voice into 100 alien dialects. "Returned? We've just arrived." But no one spoke. A quiet panic rippled through the council hall. Only one ancient being stepped forward, a frail archivist from the Order of Continuum, whose existence itself was said to predate suns. When he finally spoke, his words carried the sorrow of galaxies gone silent. "You bear the faces of the architects." Mara frowned. "Architects?" "The architects of oblivion," the archivist said, "the makers of stars, and their destroyers." A murmur spread through the chamber, a sound like wind through broken glass. 50 millennia ago, the archivist continued, they appeared as you have, curious, clever, full of wonder. They shared their ideas, built alliances, and promised peace. But beneath their creation was hunger. Archon Zelron's voice shook like thunder. They reshaped worlds with thought alone, and when they grew bored, they unmade them just as easily. They designed species, the archivist whispered, then erased them to perfect the next version. We called them gods, until we realized we were experiments. Panic spread like wildfire. Some delegates fled the chamber, others summoned guards. Mara raised her hands. "Stop. We're not them. We're human. That's what they said," Zelron interrupted. "Before they burned half the spiral arm to ash." Mara's heart pounded. Her voice trembled but firmed. "You must be mistaken. We only just reached the stars. We want peace." The archivist's hollow eyes glowed. "And yet, you create artificial minds. You rewrite genomes. You test your weapons on your own world. Tell me, does the spark not resemble the flame?" A sharp alarm broke the standoff. Across the hall, holo displays came alive, broadcasting frantic reports from the outer systems. An aide turned to Zelrayan, voice cracking. "Archon, unidentified fleets emerging in 12 sectors. They're human vessels, hundreds of them." "That's impossible," Mara cried. "We only have 9 ships in total." The archivist turned slowly toward the screen. "No," he said almost to himself. "They were never gone." The display magnified the incoming armadas. They were human in shape, but ancient, like relics carved from forgotten epochs. Their hulls pulsed with living metal, their insignias marked by symbols no linguist could translate. "The Echo Protocol," whispered the archivist. "The architects seeded their essence into unformed worlds. When one of those worlds reached the stars again, the memory would awaken." Mara stared at the screens, breath shallow. She'd seen those same symbols once, etched deep into the walls of a cave in northern Greenland, carved long before civilization had fire. She'd thought them art. Now she understood they were a warning. As the first blasts lit up the void, Archon Zelron turned toward her. "You should not have come here," he said. "Your awakening has begun the Second Genesis War." And as the ancient fleets unleashed their fury, the universe realized too late. The architects had never been destroyed. They had simply become human.